Question C now is a kind of a two-part question. It says the scale of this map is 1 centimeter equals 50 miles. The length of the map is 7.6 centimeters. The width of the map is 5.6 centimeters. What is the actual area of Colorado? So we have to be careful here because we're going from centimeters to miles, but also finding the area. So let's see. If 1 centimeter equals 50 miles, that means that I should be multiplying by 50 to find the actual length of the sides of Colorado. So 7.6 times 50 gives me 380 miles. And 5.6 times 50 gives me 280 miles. Now it's asking, though, what's the actual area? And we remember area is found for a rectangle by multiplying length times width. So I'm going to multiply that 380 times the 280, and I get a big number, which I would expect because Colorado's a big state, 106,400 square miles, we say. We write SQ for square, or we could say miles squared, or sometimes we say miles with a little 2 at the top. Okay, so that's question 3. For question D, it says the scale on a map of the ski trails at Wachusett Mountain is 1 inch to 200 feet. If the length of one of the trails on the map is 13 inches, how long is the actual ski trail? Well, we could make our famous T-chart here. 1 inch represents 200 feet. Then if one of the trails on the map is 13 inches long, how long would the actual length be? Well, to go from here to here, I'm multiplying by 200. So if I do 13 times 200, I get 2,600 feet. I could ask this question backwards. If I told you that we had a ski trail that was 3,900 feet long, and I wanted to know how long would the length of the trail on the map be, I could divide by that 200. 3,900 divided by 200 would be 19.5 inches long. Okay, so remember it's multiplying and dividing to get back and forth from those sides. Question E says draw a scale copy of the house with a scale factor of 2, then draw a door on each house using the same scale. So I need to count how many units, and up this side is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units on the bottom. So I know that my house should be 16 units going across the bottom. I'm going to pause and count this carefully. So I've drawn my 16 units across the bottom and my 8 units across the top because my scale factor was 2. Now I need to figure out where the top of that house is. Well, to get to the top of the house, from here, let's see, from here to here. Remember, we can't count those diagonals, right? But I can count the ups and the acrosses, the up and down and the over and across. So instead of going up by 2 and over by 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to go up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and over by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that should be where the pointed part of my roof is. So now all I have to do is connect. Oop. I drew this one a little too long. It looks like it should be from here. There, that looks a little bit better. Now it says draw a door. So I'll draw a door. We know what a door looks like, right? Another little rectangle. So let's say I put a nice blue door on my house. And my door is centered under the top. Yours doesn't have to be, right under the peak of that roof. So my door is 1, 2, 3 units over from the side. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units over from the side. Instead of being 3 units high, it will be 6 units high. Instead of being 2 units wide, it will be 4 units wide. And I can draw that new piece of the house as well, scaled up and down by a factor of 2. Your door might not have been there. It might not have been the same size as mine. That's okay as long as it's the number of units is correct. All right, this next question is a little difficult. It's kind of a two-part problem. It says Mr. Hugasian is using 2 different models of the solar system. In the first model, 1 centimeter equals 100,000 kilometers. The distance from the Earth to the Moon using this model is 3.84 centimeters. The scale of the second model is 1 centimeter is 50,000 kilometers. And remember what we said, the larger the scale, the smaller the drawing, the bigger the smaller the scale, the bigger the drawing, which tells me that our second drawing should be larger than our first drawing. So the question is, what's the distance between the Earth and the Moon in the second model of the solar system? Okay, so my hint here is, what is the actual distance from the Earth to the Moon? So I'm going to make a T-chart, and our scale in that T-chart is 1 centimeter equals 100,000 kilometers. So I know in that drawing that the Earth and the Moon are 3.84 centimeters apart. So to get the actual distance, I should be multiplying by 100,000. 3.84 times 100,000. And notice there was a hint there to use your calculator. That gives me 384,000 kilometers from the Earth to the Moon. But now the question is asking about the second scale. So in the second scale, I'm going to do a different T-chart because I have a different scale. I have a 1 to 50,000, 1 centimeter to 50,000 scale. So now what I'm going to do is put in that actual distance that we just found out, 384,000 kilometers to the Moon. Now to go from 1 to 50,000, I would multiply by 50,000, but I'm going the opposite direction, right? I'm going to divide by 50,000 to find that scale distance. Divide by that 50,000. So I take the 384,000, and I divide it by 50,000, and I get 7.68 centimeters. So just like we said a minute ago, the bigger scale had the smaller model. The smaller model had the smaller scale had the bigger model, okay, because we can fit more of those into that 50,000. So kind of a strange question, but we needed 2 steps there. First, we needed to figure out the actual, and then to use the actual to get the scale. Okay, so 2 steps for a question like that. And then our last question here says the dimensions of a sort of rectangular hockey rink are 200 feet by 85 feet. Draw a hockey rink using the scale 1 centimeter equals 25 feet. Okay, so our scale is 1 to 25. We've got centimeters here and feet here. And I know that the actual lengths are 200 feet by 85 feet, going from centimeters to feet. I'm multiplying by 25, but going the other direction, I'm going to be dividing by 25. So 200 divided by 25 gives me 8. One length should be 8 centimeters. And the 85 divided by 25 gives me 3.4 centimeters. So you should use your ruler and draw that 8 centimeters by 3.4 centimeters. Then it says the player's bench on the side of the hockey rink where they sit is 24 feet long. Draw a bench for each team using the same scale. So 24 feet divided by 25 is about 0.96. So just under 1 centimeter, and we could draw that on our picture. Okay, so that's the answer key. That's all of those questions. I'll post just a picture of it as well with all the answers drawn out. And that's pretty much what your test looks like. So be ready for that on Friday. Okay, have a wonderful Wednesday.